The New York Knicks are officially up 2-0 in the NBA Finals going into Game 3 and 4 in Madison Square Garden. Yes, they stole the first two on the road in San Antonio. And if you were to ask any NBA fan that's not a New York Knicks fan, I think nobody would have this as the outcome of the first two games of the NBA Finals. And I'm sure there were a lot of Knicks believers out there, but majority of people based on the betting, and I'm not sponsored by any sports books, were picking the Spurs. The Knicks only a 36% chance, and now they're up to an 80% chance to win the finals. And there's been so much going on, so much discourse, so much narrative changing, so much agenda pushing that we have to go over after these first two games. It's been absolutely insane. Let's dive right into it. So obviously game number one for the Spurs was an offensive nightmare. Almost nothing coming from anybody, especially De'Aaron Fox, Devin Vassell, 7 points, 9 points, not what you want to see. And having Victor Wembanyama drop 26 points, but the narrative on Wemby after this game has changed so much. Yes, he dropped 26 points, but it was on 6 made shots. He had most of his points come from the free throw line. He also had 6 turnovers in this game, only to 2 assists, a very negative playmaker here. And if you guys don't remember, in the OKC series, everyone was saying, Wemby, you need to save basketball. You need to beat OKC in the floppers, and you need to save us all. Well, after game one, this post was posted, and it was basically just a highlight of a bunch of fouls from the Spurs, and the comments were going crazy saying they did it all Thunder series, crazy how the ethical Hoopers are now exposed as the dirtiest team in the league, and OKC fans, don't worry, we got you. The narrative has completely flopped. I mean, please tell me you guys remember when everyone was hating on Shea in the Thunder Spurs series, calling him a flopper, saying that he needs to lose, that we don't want to see him in the finals. I mean, every single one of those posts have now flipped, and now everyone's saying it about Wemby. It's actually insane how fast the NBA narratives can change, guys. Look at all of these tweets. I collected these in like 5 minutes. It's just absolutely absurd how fast things can change. And obviously there's two sides to every story. And now on the Knicks in game one, it came more from their defense than from their offense. I mean, Josh Hart, 15 rebounds, 4 steals and a block. Karl Anthony Towns getting a block and 12 rebounds. Brunson had 30 points, even though it was an inefficient 30 nonetheless in a finals game. This team just looked so connected on defense. And then on offense, it really looked like Karl Anthony Towns was able to score at will on Wemby. I mean, he was blowing by him. He was hitting shots on him. It was insane what I was seeing, honestly. The unanimous decoy on Cat on the perimeter, it seemed like he could just kind of get by him at will. But it's not like the Knicks dominated the entire game. Actually, the Spurs had a 14-point lead in the third quarter, and the Knicks came back and ended up winning the game. And late in the game, Wembanyama had that turnover off of his foot. Just something to remember, just a memorable moment in the finals. Absolutely ridiculous. And don't forget Captain Clutch late in the game, shot over Wemby, bump fade. He was pointing at the refs. He was talking to Scott Foster. Just an absolutely insane performance in the end after a rough start for Jalen Brunson, having multiple injuries, going back to the locker room, getting stepped on, everything. He comes in the fourth quarter and does what he does. But after the game, Wemby in his interview said, yeah, I was bad tonight, and you know what? I'm not really too worried about it. We're going to come back, and in game 2, that's not going to happen again. We're going to tie the series 1-1 and then head over to New York, where before the game in game 2, everyone pretty much had the Spurs. 70% of people were putting their money on it. Again, not sponsored, just saying I like to look at this type of stuff to see where the trends are going, and not a lot of people expected the Knicks to go up 2-0 on the road, which would be an incredible feat. And by incredible, I mean nearly impossible. Only 2 teams in NBA history have done it. Michael Jordan and the Bulls, and Hakeem Olajuwon and the Rockets, the only 2 teams in NBA history to do it. And every single analyst I saw, every single podcast I listened to had the Spurs winning game 2 and tying it 1-1. Nobody saw that the Knicks were going to go up 2-0. Nobody thought that that was about to happen. Everyone must have forgot about the big purr. I mean, Cat was absolutely cooking in this game, specifically in the first half, but 66% from the field, 13 rebounds. He was all over the boards. It looked like he just wanted it out there. I remember in the start of the second half, he got an offensive rebound on Wemby and put it back up and in, and I was like, damn, it really looks like the big purr just wants this kibble. And even though the Spurs did go to the hack-a-mitch strategy late in the first quarter, it looked like the Knicks were not bothered by it at all. They knew it would pass, and they knew they just had to keep playing their game, like Kat said in the huddle in game 1. But Mikal Bridges, amazing from 3. Jalen Brunson, again, an insane clutch performance. I mean, the team just looks connected, guys. But one thing I do want to note, the Spurs did control a majority of the first half, and in the second half, the Knicks got all the way up to a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter that the Spurs would fight all the way back and make it a close game all the way down to the final shot. I mean, the Spurs did not give up in this game at all. And this is a lot different than game one. I mean, you got 14 from Vassell, 20 from Fox, 15 from Harper, the same production from Castle. Obviously, you're not going to get that production from Champagnie every game, but when you have Fox and Vassell step up, you would think that it would even each other out. And then Wemby almost drops 30. But once again, Wemby's problem was more on the turnovers this game, specifically late. He had that one turnover where he thought Castle was looking and he threw it to him after the rebound, and that was a huge pivotal moment in the game. I mean, they basically lost because of that, because then he fouled Brunson and allowed Brunson to take the lead. Absolutely insane. And Brunson has not been playing very efficient in this finals so far. 28% in this game, and in game one, 38%. And the Knicks won both games with these numbers. It just makes you beg the question, what would happen if Brunson had an efficient game like he has all these playoffs? Would they win by like 30? Who knows at this point? And going up 2-0 in San Antonio allows for a potential 4-0 sweep, which would end in Madison Square Garden. I mean, who thought the Knicks would sweep the Spurs? Every single analytical thing ever was pointing towards the Spurs in this series, and there is a chance they could close it out. I'm not saying they will sweep them, but there's a chance. And we talked about this in If the Knicks Win the NBA Finals video that I made earlier on this channel, but right now, the Knicks only have 2 losses this postseason, both coming to the Atlanta Hawks, and the best postseason run of all time is 16-1, so they have a chance to be the second best postseason run of all time. They would also have a chance to be the first team since the 2005-6 Miami Heat. No, I'm not counting the Milwaukee Bucks because of the shortened season, to be the first team to win the championship since them to break the 40-20 rule. The Knicks did not 40-20. They were extremely close this season, but the only 3 teams to do that were the Pistons, the Thunder, and the Spurs. So they would break the 40-20 rule as well. So what's the answer for the Spurs? Well, I think it's very easy to say that Wemby just needs to do a better job on Karl Anthony Towns on the boards and also on defense, but I honestly think it goes a lot deeper than that. Keldon Johnson, the 6th Man of the Year award winner in the NBA, has been absolutely non-existent and invisible so far in the finals. And Stephon Castle had a decent game one. He could have been a little bit better, but in game two, only 28 minutes, 35% from the field, 4 turnovers, 4 fouls. He had 2 of those fouls in the fourth quarter. I'm not really too sure why he's only playing 28 minutes. Your starting point guard needs to be getting a lot more time and run in this game than 28 minutes. And then obviously back to the original point, Wemby needs to prove that Cat is not the Wemby stopper. I had some of my Spurs friends say that Cat is just the Wemby stopper. Well, if you want to win this series, that just cannot be the case. But comment down below what you guys think will happen in this NBA Finals Game 3 and 4 in New York. Please let me know. Hype the video, like the video, subscribe. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. We're trying to hit it ASAP. I love every single one of you. I read every single comment. Peace.